Hello, hello, hello. Jason Smith here, Super Coach Smith, with my fellow lifestyle entrepreneurs, Craig Corbitt, Kenneth Francis Jr., some of the great entrepreneurs here and great friends. We're about to share some information, some training with you that can make a difference in your life if you'll apply it. So I was just out in Arizona this last week at our partner Mobilogics, and with that, I wanted to share some things with you. I'm sure everyone's wanting updates and things like that. One thing I can tell you, just first and foremost, is this: we have some of the best business partners that you could find in Mobilogics. In my professional career, I mean, these are the top individuals that you could choose to do a development project like this. We are blessed and fortunate to be working with them. So I'm going to say one thing: anyone that's on this video or watching this video, please pass this on to your teams, your customers, everybody down the line. Even if they are having some type of glitch, some type of problem, treat our business partners with the utmost respect. We are grateful to be partnered with them, and they are top caliber people. I really want you to know that, and they really want this to succeed. But I will tell you, once you understand what they're trying to do, it is unreal. They are literally, let me put this in perspective. AT&T has a whole system. Some of them are legacy systems, some are new systems. The only way those systems are tied into each other is through AT&T's whole company network, because they've built it that way. On the outside, those systems aren't tied together. That's hard. And so out of those systems, one's called Premier. There's only 6 companies in the space that are allowed to have full access to it in code solutions, Mobilogics being one of them. In the other system called Phoenix, there's only 3 companies that have full access to them and are allowed to code solutions in them. Well, interestingly enough, in both systems, there is only one company that has full access to both systems and is allowed to code solutions, and that is our business partner, Mobilogics. And they are literally coding something that is not there because we work in the enterprise space of AT&T. That's where we live. That's our home, and there's a very good reason why that's our home. So AT&T has this for themselves. So these instant activations and all this on this enterprise level is only available to AT&T corporate. That's it. No one else has it. So Mobilogics is actually trying to bridge these 2 areas for the outside world for us and for AT&T. So that's where our platform is going to live. And you have to understand something. Number one, it is extremely difficult. AT&T would have done it themselves if it wasn't. Mobilogics is spending a lot of time, money, and resources to be able to do this, and it is very, very difficult. Number 3, once it's going, we are going to have something special. And I've heard a lot of comments about people saying, well, why don't we just go over here at this retail side? Well, the retail side doesn't do what we want this company to be. Because right now everybody thinks that we're this, little Me Too MLM company just offering a mobile service that's a little better than the next one. That is the farthest thing from the truth. In fact, after getting out there and seeing where we're going with this, I would tell you we're not MLM. I would tell you, and this is a business perspective, we are not an MLM company. We are an affiliate company. Actually, if you're saying we're more like an affiliate-driven franchise is more like what we have. But we like some of the pay items, the levers that you find in MLM companies. And the reason I say we're not an MLM, because here's the business test. Can one person or one business come in and do all personal production, never recruit even one single person, never recruit anybody, and receive the full compensation? Well, guess what? That is true. One person can come in and do all personal production, whether it be a mobile dealer store, a person on the internet, a retail store, and they never have to recruit even one person. They can receive full compensation. That is why it's not MLM. When you get into that world, now all it does is if you recruit business partners, that's leverage. That's leverage to grow your business. So I want you to know that. I also want you to know to be appreciative of what we've got. See, where we're going on this is literally mobile is just where we're starting. The platform that is being developed right now, you already know that we have our back office available, and they're working out some of the things on that. Shortly after that, they're working on the bridging these two systems for instant activations. And I have seen the system. I have actually seen the back of that. I saw a little bit of ours, but they showed us a working example of someone else, and it was pretty humbling when you saw the company that was using that system behind the scenes. I mean, humbling how big that company is. So when I say that, we should be glad, because if that company is using them, we should be fortunate. I've seen the systems and what they look like. But once we have this, we are going to, our platform will have multi-carrier capability. Yes, AT&C is our partner. You know, their MobileLogix directly tied to MobileLogix. That is the person that we're doing all this with, and we are glad and we are so happy that they've allowed us to be a part of this. But at the same time, we're a business, so having multiple carriers in the future is something important for being an overall business. And the enterprise level is what gets you excited, okay? Because of the way we're set up in the world we live in enterprise, it allows us to have access to all of the channel partners that AT&T has and pull their offerings back into our system. So literally, what we will have is not just a mobile service in a good activation platform. We will have a business platform like other telephony companies, larger companies, but we have them on a micro basis, which is really, really interesting because that's never been done before either. So we can pull in equipment and devices and everything else into our offerings and have it right there. And there's no one else in this space that has that. So that can only be done on the enterprise level. I could give you some of the capability of that is where you pull in one of those offers, a customer goes to your website, you get it at one price, you advertise it here over at another price, and when the customer buys, it goes straight from here to here, drop ship, you earn the money. That sounds like another platform that a really large company does, and we're going to have that capability in our system. So that's something special. We're going to have some other capabilities. I won't even go into those. But I'm going to talk about right now, I'm going to transition over in what's coming. Right now, because of these, you're going to have a rollout it's sometime in September that you're going to start to see this instant activation system complete. They don't have a date yet because there's a very complexity that has to be solved, and AT&T expects essentially perfection. So, and I don't blame them because of what the gravity of this. But here's what we do have. We have a pre-launch date. That pre-launch date is going to be in Dallas, Texas. There's another little company called AT&T, their headquarters, that's located in Dallas, Texas too. That's going to be September 11th and 12th. We don't have the venue and the times are to be announced, but here's what I can tell you. You're going to have our executives of GCN, including Kirby Cochran, coming in to Dallas to speak. You're also going to have the MobileLogix team. You're going to have Scott Jonas. He's going to fly in town to be at that pre-launch, and he's going to explain to everyone what I'm telling you right now. He's going to explain it in detail. The first night, he's just going to give you an overview. The next day, we're going to do like a town hall meeting where you can actually ask him questions. It'll be interactive, and you get to dig deep into this. So if you really want to know what this is, you better be at that meeting because it'll blow your mind. Because a lot of people say we have a rocket ship. We don't have a rocket ship. We have a Starship Enterprise, and it's something that's not in the marketplace right now. And with that said, I'm going to transition over to two of my friends, because if you are sitting there right now hearing this message, there are a couple benchmarks. One that is extremely important. It is if you hit Freedom Leadership Club, which is 15 mobile lines and 5 independent marketers in your organization. If you hit that before August 31st, you get to be a founder. If you're someone else that's on here and when you get 5 mobile customers, you get free service. Well, think about this. Some of us may have been involved with other companies where hundreds of thousands of people came into that. And if you were one of the first and you were designated, say a founder of certain companies, later on that served you very well. Right now, as we're looking at that and that growth, as we go from less than 1,000 to 100,000 and more, there's going to be a select few of us. Really probably, you're looking 20 plus maybe, that have the designation forever a founder. So as you see that exponential growth, guess what? There's going to be that select group that get to put that on their name forever, that we were part of something special and we built it when times were tough. Yes, times are tough. It's clunky. They know it. It's because of the system and AT&T. There's not anything in between here. They have a literal person sitting at a computer that has to process all of our orders manually at AT&T. Yeah, because it's not built. It's not there. It's just not there. But guess what? Because we stuck it out waiting for these systems to get built and you have that title founder, you get to keep that forever. Also, if you get your 5 and you get free service before we even open the doors, think about when we hit that growth curve and you can actually go to someone and you can say, when you're telling them about the opportunity, you can say, I have my service for free. Not you can get it for free. I have it for free. Look, see this? See my phone? See what it says? Free. That is a power that you cannot imagine if you have your service for free. Now, if you have the ability to say, not only do I have my service for free, but I'm a founder, over. I mean, you are in a position to capitalize on this opportunity like no one else has ever before. So you may be sitting there going, well, Jason, it's tough. Everything's, this is so tough to do this. You know what? Yep, there are things that are tough, but there are people who are doing it, and 2 of those people are right here on this panel. So I've been on probably talking about 12 minutes right now, so I'm gonna turn it over to them, because right now what they're gonna share with you is the how to do that. They're gonna show you how to get this. They're gonna show you how to get free service. They're gonna show you how to achieve Freedom Leadership Club. So Craig, are you there, my friend? Ken, are you there? You guys want to take over?
Yes, sir. All right, man. I tell you what, I'll go first. I'll let Kenneth close us out for the evening because he's a great closer. So I'll be the middleman. Here's the deal, guys. Kind of want to share with you guys the opportunity as well as give you guys some stats. You have to understand what we have in our hands, right? I've been having some great conversations with other people throughout the week that are phenomenal leaders. Incredibly smart business people that make well into the upper 6-digit figures per year, that are so intrigued by what we're doing, are like they want more information. They want to see that, like, okay, this just makes sense, And so I want to give you guys some stats so you guys understand. Me and Jason were talking earlier, and he was giving some great stats I'm going to mention. So as you guys know, Sprint and T-Mobile, they probably have a turnover rate of about 1 out of every 4, right? About 25%. Maybe, maybe every year, maybe 1 out of every 4. And then we have AT&T and we have Verizon, which is about 10 to 12%, right? So
per year.
Yeah, per year. So 10 to 12% and 25%, you're looking at, pretty staggering numbers, right? So there's people that are constantly, they're looking, right? They're looking to switch, right? And another great staggering stat, guys, is Matt Taylor. Man, he actually gave us this because he does some marketing firm stuff. I know all about the search engine stuff. So, guys, check this out. 5 million people, he said, search on Google, search prepaid, no contract cell phone plans per month. 5 million search per month. If that doesn't blow your mind, 5 million, guys. So when you're wondering, are there people out there that I could talk to, or are there people out there that'll do this? I don't know how big. That's ridiculous right there. 5 million. I know Kenneth's probably going, oh, what in the world? But anyway, so 5 million, right? So here's the deal. So you got to understand what we have. We don't have something. What I love about mobile, guys, get this in your head. We don't have something that we have to convince people that they need. Okay, so check this out. Every network marketing company out there, right? Think about the products they have. What do they have to do to get people over, right? They have to convince the need. They have to convince that something's there. And so I'm not saying people don't have phenomenal products, okay? That's great. They have great products. But at the end of the day, if I take a product and I go, hey, you need this, they're going to go, why, right? Immediately I got to go, well, see, it does this, 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 and this, and this is why you need it. And then they go, oh, and then you know what? Maybe they buy, maybe they don't. I don't have to grab a cell phone and go, you need this. They go, of course I need it. I can't live without it. You know what I mean? I don't have to explain why they would use this. I don't have to explain why it would benefit their life. Crud, it's a lifeline for them, literally a lifeline for most people. You detach that from them, they can't operate, right? They do not know what to do. Most people getting wrecks. You don't even know, right? Trying to find their phones and they drop it on their floor. People literally, think about this. people drop their phone on their floorboard. They will pull over. They will stop the middle of their day before they have to end where they're going. They're that attached to their phones, okay? And so here's what's so awesome, guys, and understand this concept, right? There's nothing else out there in network marketing, guys, that most people have to convince people they maybe have to take something and lose weight, right? They have to get the product. They have to use it. It has to work. And then they go, here's what it did. Here's how it works. Look what it did to me, okay? And like I said, again, don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing things. I'm just telling you how easy it is of what we have to communicate to people. We don't have to convince them that they need it. And so here's the other thing that I want to give you guys is a stat, okay? And that's so phenomenal, so great. And actually, before I jump into that real quick, I had a really great friend, business partner over in Tulsa. He just got done going to a convention. We were having conversations about that, conversations lead to conversions, right? They lead to acquiring great leaders. Okay, so if we're not having conversations with people, then we're not building, right? We got to be having conversations constantly because you can't expect people to know what we're doing or what we have unless you're having conversations. So it was so awesome because he wrote me. He goes, "Hey man, went to a convention, had more conversations. Conversations equal this, and conversations equal this. Great leaders." I was like, yes. Because, it's so awesome. He made all these connections and he started planting seeds, right, within people that he believed were going to be great leaders. They're going to be a part of this company. Now, I want to give you guys a great hourly stat, okay? So think about this. And reason why I like to pound this into the ground is because I don't think most people get it. So think about when most people quit network marketing, right? They say they quit, within 3 to 6 months, guys? People normally quit a network marketing company. They normally don't last very long, right? Primarily because they have an expectation that's out the roof. Primarily, they think they're going to get rich in 30 days, right? And then sometimes they just have no one teaching them the right way to do it. So understand, you're starting a business, okay? I want to give you some cool stats that probably you could give to some people. So if you're a normal person, right, that walks up to you and talks, right, because I've had people ask me this before, and I'm sure you guys have. People go, well, how much time is it going to take? How much time is it going to take for me if I could actually build up a good income? Well, here's the thing. To ask them how many hours do they work a week, right? Your average person is going to work 40 hours, maybe 50 hours a week. I'm going to give you a 40-hour-a-week statistic. You took 40 hours a week, and you took the entire year, right? You're pushing close to 2,000 hours, right? 2,000 hours that they've invested into their job for the year. So take your network marketing company, right? And I believe with what we have, you could invest 5 hours a week, like we talked about, 5 hours a week, times that out.
Uh-oh, we lost Mr. Craig.
Okay. So
you're
talking 240. So 2,000 hours versus 240 hours in an entire year. And check this out, your normal family income, median, I'm talking average income for a family is about $50,000, they say, per year for your average American for 2015. So I believe that you could take a year of this and you could easily hit the $70,000 a year a year in residual income in a year. Credit, you may be able to do it in 6 months, but we've already shown people how they can just duplicate a 5 who gets 5 who gets 5. So think about that. That's investing. If I could get to $70,000 a year, this is just kind of the stats. I'm not saying everybody's going to hit this, but I'm saying, think about it. If I hit a $70,000 a year residual income, not something I got to work for next year, right? Residual income. Here's the big difference. 70 grand a year residual income. I worked 240 solid, focused hours on my business for that year versus 2,000 at my full-time job. And now I've created something that is $20,000 higher than the average American income. And when I'm talking average American household income, normally that's both spouses working, right, for the most part. Some of them are making around, 24, 30, 36,000. Once you take out taxes, we all know how that goes, right? So they're probably making close to that, if not way less than that. So think about that, guys, when people say, do I have time? So if you were to ask me, is it worth my time, or how much time do I have to spend, I would go, holy crud. I could invest a hardcore focused 5 hours a week into a business, and in a year, I could be at more than what your average American household income is making in residual income. Okay, that means I don't have to go back and do it again in residual income. That's a staggering stat, guys. But here's the thing: is that most people, like I said, they don't last that long because they don't want to invest the time, right? Or they get a little bit, they get a little bit of resistance, which you always do in business. Okay, and here's the other thing I want to tell you: if you were to start a business let's say you opened up a whatever random mom and pop shop, brick and mortar, right? You have this business, this dream. Do you think that your business would last if you only told your friends and your family? Let's say you just told your friends and your family, said, please come support my coffee shop. I opened this up. I want it to be able to last, so please just tell all my friends and family, come here. If you had every single one of your friends and family come there, you still would not be successful. You'd probably be dead in the water in about a month or two, right? So how do those businesses even actually make it past there, right? It's about going out and having more and more conversations about that business and about that store so they can draw the masses, not just people that they know. And so the reason I'm telling you that, guys, is that it's not about just people that you know. It's not about just your friends and your family, okay? You're going to crash if you do that, okay? So you have to have conversations outside of just people you know if you really, really want this to be successful. Is that hard? No, man. Sometimes it may be taking you out of your comfort zone a little bit. But come on, guys, it's just a conversation. It's just, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd much rather be rejected by people that I don't know than people I know. It's way easier to talk to somebody and go, hey, I got this great opportunity. They go, no, see you later. I don't have anything to do with it. Guess what? I'm probably never going to see that person again. Where some people get, hurt is because they go, crud, I got to see those people again. They just rejected me. Now I feel like a dork, and now I feel like, maybe I'm not successful. Don't worry about that kind of stuff, guys. Go out there and find success, man. I'm telling you, people will come. I've had tons of friends and family that have came later, okay? And don't burn bridges, guys. I see people do that, network marketing all day long. Sometimes they make comments. I mean, it kills me, man. If someone turns you down or does whatever, please don't make a post that's calling them out in some weird way that everybody knows you're mad at friends because they're not taking your job position. That is not, I'm telling you, there's nothing. You can't make a post and go, man, people be broke all the time. I try to give them an opportunity, and they just choose not to take it. And I'm telling you, that person that you just talked to is not going to read that post and go, you know what? He's right. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to come to him. So all we do is we lay stuff out. It's just information. It's all about sharing, right? Me and Jason talk about it all the time. It's about sharing, guys. Mobile, I guarantee you, people are going to come around. People are going to come around. They're going to realize it's something simple. Jason always talks about it. He goes, man, when people think about mobile, I want them to think about me because I'm a mobile store. I want them to think about me. So guess what? They're not going to think about you if they don't know about you. They are not going to think about it if you don't expose them in some way, shape, or form that you're there to help them out with it. So anyways, guys, just think about those things. Think about what we have, guys. This is unbelievable. 5 million people a month searching prepaid, no contract plans. There are so many fish out there. They're just waiting to be talked to about an opportunity like this, if not just be customers. And so that being said, I shall turn this over to my man, Kenneth, to hopefully show you guys how we need to close out this month, man. It's a big month. We're prepping for pre-launch, man. Pre-launch. You guys get this? We're not even we're prepping for pre-launch.
Right.
Some of you guys have been involved. I mean, this is huge. Those of you that are watching this, understand what you're a part of, man. Understand this is epic. This is something that most people would dream and wish they'd have an opportunity like this, okay? This can and will, if you spend time on it, change you and your family's life. Literally, could change it financially, time-wise. I mean, freedom, it'll blow you guys away.
And Craig, you've got to communicate that with that passion. You've got to believe it and communicate it.
Well, hey,
I'll tell you a real quick story. I was driving through Arizona. It was about 5:30 a.m. or something at a smaller town in Arizona. Saw a guy. We were both getting gas at the same time, and you just saw the way he was dressed. It was a smaller town. He was dressed real nice. It almost looked like didn't really look like it was business. It was almost looked like he was going out for an evening, but it was like 5:30 in the morning, so you knew he was getting ready to go to work. And I was like, so it really struck me as like, okay, if this guy's dressed like that, he must be an entrepreneur because he's not going to your typical suit and tie job. And I just said, we went in the store, and I said, hey, excuse me, I don't know if you are, but you kind of I thought you might be an entrepreneur. And he goes, you looked at me like, how'd you know? And I just said, well, just it's 5:30 in the morning, you look like you're a pretty motivated person. And I said, just took 2 seconds. I said, hey, I just coming back from a business meeting in Arizona, headed home, and I just want to share this with you. I don't know if this would be something, but I'm in a business where I help other people start businesses. And I said, and he goes, what type of business? And I said, that right there. I help them become mobile dealers, and I help them equip other mobile stores to offer this product. I said, so we work with a provider that's a solutions provider of AT&T. I just said, right here, You're just armed with this. And I showed him my phone, and I showed him the activate button. I said, right here, armed with these, you're a walking, talking mobile store. You can be your own wireless store right there, or you can go help other stores, offer our product in store. But I said, no, I just left it. I said, I don't want to take up any more of your time. You look like you're headed somewhere. Here's my card. I said, and I gave him this website and said, take a look. Take a look at this if you're interested. And you just saw that look on his face. I didn't even really catch his name. It was so quick. But there was an interest just from that little small conversation. And if you're out there, if you see this, yes, I was a real person, and yes, this is a real opportunity. Yes, these are my business partners. So it's good meeting you.
Exposure is everything, man. I'll go ahead and take that right from you, man. Exactly. That's how it works, folks. I think the last few hangouts and calls we had been having was really about what Jason just kind of that scenario. I mean, meeting people. I mean, how to meet people. Engaging people, and showing value. Without saying too much. What I'm doing tonight, obviously, is talking about closing the month, and it's really simple. We got 8 days left here. I don't know what your goal is, or if you have a goal. If you don't have a goal, you need to write it down right now. That's number one. Whatever your goal is, maybe I know we got a couple of things that we'll talk about here over the next how many minutes we have? 10 minutes here. We've got the F5, we got the FLC, we got but there's a lot of other things that you can accomplish for yourself. Everybody can't be Jason Smith. Everybody can't be Craig Corbitt. Everybody can't be Marlon Luna. And everybody. You have to find your space and put your flag down where you want to be in this business. The truth of the matter is, like Craig said, we're just freelancers. I mean, we've got a lot of growth to go. I mean, think about some of the companies that you've seen over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and think about where they started and where they are now, if they're still there in the industry or just in business. I mean, it's monumental where we are right now to take advantage of it. So starting out, the month is very, very important, but if you don't finish the month, what good was it for, right? So tools for closing the month. I've talked about some of this stuff before. Build your list. It's very important. If you're not building your list, you don't have any bullets in the gun, so to speak. People are the resources. Priming the pump. Continuing to put new names and numbers on that list. Craig had a great example of how it's easier to talk to somebody that you don't know compared to somebody that you do know, because you got to see that person again. If they say no, and it's real awkward, I mean, you got to chime in on that. I've experienced that. It didn't really, when you said that, I was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. You think the people that are best friends with you are just going to ride or die with you, right? Wrong. They're the ones that'll ride with you and they'll jump off and let you die. Because they're like, you're not taking me with you. I know where you've been. I know what you've done. And you owe me $100, those types of folks. And I know you're late on visa and all this different stuff, so it's easier to, spark up a conversation with somebody that you don't know. And that's part of building your list, right? Holton Bugs and a lot of other mentors I've heard say, faith it or fake it till you make it. And really fake it till you make it. Act as if you're that person. You're the leader. They don't know what you don't know anyway. This is the lifeblood of your business, building a list, right? If you keep that list, fresh, and you continue to put people in the pipeline, and bring people out of the pipeline, because everybody's not going to join you, right? It just is what it is. Everybody's not going to be excited about what you have to show them, and some people aren't going to see any value. Some people are just having a bad day. Some people have started a business last week, and the timing might be a little bit off, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is you're going through the numbers, right? You're going through the numbers. You're processing numbers. Just like the toll booth, just like McDonald's, just like any other mega business, you got to treat it just like the same way. I'm worried about who is going to take action. So I have to go through a lot of numbers, go through a lot of customers, go through a lot of exposures to get to the ones that are going to say, you know what, that makes sense. Let me get started, right? So go through the numbers. Do not prejudge. All right, I'm going to roll through this kind of fast. Do not prejudge. You never know who will join you in business. You never, ever know, right? It could be, your next door neighbor could be somebody you might want to prospect. Don't forget about your neighbor. Don't forget about the person that you see every single day and you say hello to them. Don't prejudge, because I know we have a tendency to do that as human beings. I mean, you look at someone up and down and say, well, you know, maybe they're too professional. Maybe, you know, maybe they don't think, you know, maybe they're a little too, the way they process information, they might not be ready for it, or GCN might not be on their level, or so forth and so on. But the truth is if you heard what Mr. Smith was talking about, we have some things coming that, you know, some pretty high, you know, highly intellectual people in technology and business, they want to hear about it, because this is Amazon, AT&T, I mean, explain it, Google-ish type stuff taking place here. So, I mean, it's major. So, you know, have the right expectations, but also have a certain posture about your business, you know. Learn about what really is going on, you know. Have those certain things in your mind in a scripted way, to where, just like Mr. Smith just showed you, how he, you know, introduced himself to a total stranger, but left that person kind of like, wow, you know, well, he probably wants to know more, but hey, it was just a quick exposure. You know, it isn't about spilling the beans. It's really about just exposing and letting them know what's going on, right? So, great posture. Have the confidence about GCN. Don't go out there and just halfway do it. I mean, yeah, you know, I got this thing going on, and, you know, I want you to look at it. I mean, that's not professional. You know, be a professional. If you're going to do the business, you're going to go out here and close the month and get some numbers done, and leave some, you know, have some momentum going from here on out in your business, right? That's what it's all about. Really, it's about momentum. It's not where you're necessarily finished, because we're not done by any means. It's about how that story continues to start really at that point. When you really do something amazing like that, and trigger numbers and start to develop a story like, hey, I did this in 8 days. And I mean, you can talk about that from that point on all the way into your end of the business. You know, if there's an end in sight, I mean, you can continue that story from that point on, and it'll carry your business. You know, oh, that's the gentleman, 8 days he did this, you know, or maybe it's a lady, hey, in 8 days she did this, right? And it catapulted her business. You know, you can always lean on that process, man. So go ahead, Jason, I see you chiming in there.
Well, I was going to say, I was going to give them a how-to to do what you're talking about, and this is what's working. I've done it. I know Felix has done it. We've had several team members do it, and it takes it from that, you know, like, okay, what do you have, and it just, when you go like this, and you show these two things right here, you show them the Pulse Impact. If you've got one, anybody who knows what we're offering will know that you can't get that unless you're tied to some type of AT&T provider. Those are not available. And so that shortens your conversation. Is a great intro to be able just to talk about, this is my business. And then, you know, and then of course, like you said, be professional and have it. I mean, I just say I'm part of a leadership team that's really helping develop a national distribution team to get this, you know, out in stores, and have, you know, part of, we need mobility entrepreneurs that are out, you know, finding other reps and getting this into stores. We're GCN Wireless, and I leave it at that and said, if you want to know more, here you go. So
that was it for everybody. I mean, if you didn't get that, just go back and watch the video again. That was the perfect, not even 30-second commercial. That was more like 15, you know. Hey, and remember this, if you're in the business at this point and you're building a business at this point with GCN, you're a leader right now. You're leading, because, I mean, think about the numbers where we are right now. How many active lines do we have, guys? I don't even know the number. I don't know the number, but a lot of those people, most of those people, they're on service, right? And then you've got
about 400. Oh, it's over 400 independent marketers, and about the same number of active.
It's about even. Okay. Good. Well, that's awesome to know. But at some point, of course, we know those numbers, the people that are actually building the business, you know, that's a smaller number of those people. And then those people that are building the business, and then those people that are actually out there crushing it, you know, that are leading the business, right? So we all fall in that category now, because, I mean, you look at the, you know, the timing of it all. I mean, you're a leader, you know, so act like it, right? Go out there, have the confidence, develop a 20-second script, whatever it is. Go back, listen to this video, use that verbiage that Mr. Smith just used, and it'll help you, right? Because, right, repetition, right? Repetition. Keep doing it over and over and over and over, and you can just go talk to anybody. Because number one, you're confident about it, right? You know what you actually have, right? And you've studied it, and you put it into action, and probably more than likely, if you use that script, it's going to work. You know, it's going to work. So go for no. No is a good thing, right? Just get people out of the way. right? You got to allow the law of averages, the law of numbers, the law of percentages. Those are laws. Those are things that you can't dispute, right? It just is what it is. It's just like gravity. Those things take place. You do numbers, you get those laws to start to take effect, and good things start to happen, all right? It just is what it is. You're not going to go out here and talk to 20 people and not have 5 people interested in business. It's just not going to happen. But you got to go talk to 20, right? You can't go talk to 5 and think you're going to get 5. You got to talk to 20. You got to talk to 30. You talk to 40. You talk to 50. You'll have 10. You'll have 10 IMs. You'll have 5 serviceable customers. I mean, you just have to do the numbers to get the numbers. Three-way calling. We talked about this. So when you have the list, you built the list. You've established. You created the script. You're getting good at talking to people. Your pipeline is full. Well, how do you convert those people? Three-way calling, of course. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Yes, the baseball diamond play, getting them from home plate all the way, getting them to first base, to second base, to third base, closing them out, getting them on three-way call, exposing them with hangouts like this, exposing them with calls, exposing them with links and videos and any kind of content you can get your hand on. You want to be able to do that. Three-way calling, we talked about it. Edification is key, right? Iron sharpens iron. It's not only important for you to edify the person that you're wanting to close your prospect, but that prospect even understands that you're the one that needs to be edified as well. Because a lot of the times, these people, you may or may not know them for a long time, but it's very important that they know that you know what you're doing too, or that you've been successful. So it just goes both ways. So those are some of the things. I mean, really, really quickly, but we covered some of the stuff, a couple of weeks ago. But I think one thing that trumps everything that I just talked about, of course, all the action, but some of the tools, the actual physical tools, you need a calendar. You need a 30-day view calendar, or maybe use Google Calendar. So whatever you use, you're going to need a calendar. You got to keep up. You got to put in place when we're having these hangouts, when we're having the calls, when we're having, whatever it is that we're having. Like on the 11th and the 12th, you need to be able to move people. Hey, they may not be able to get started, but maybe you can invite them to the 11th and 12th in Dallas or something like that. You just need to know things in advance and know things day in and day out about your business so that you're on your toes and you know exactly what's going on. So when a person has a time frame rebuttal, they say, hey, I can't do that. Well, you know where to send them, right? Bam, fam, book the meeting to another meeting. You never want to drop the ball on that and let people off the hook when you're getting people involved in your business. So guys, hopefully that helped out. I mean, it's so much, every day, every night, and every day too, that I would, if I were to train on this, it's endless. Like we could train on this for hours. It's so much more. I'm just giving you a little snapshot of some of the things I know work and that we know in the industry work. And some of the things that we haven't, some people have an issue with as far as, procrastination and stuff like that. We want to make sure we just take an action right now, right? Take action, go out there, kick fear in the face, and just forget about it. Just understand, lead with the goals that you have in mind. Write a goal down, put it in front of you every single day. Make sure you're, you're reading something, you're soaking in good stuff all day, positive, inspirational things all day. Those things, if you don't believe it, go out and try it. See how positive your day goes when you wake up to something positive. When you say, hey, today I'm going to smile at 10 people or say hello, or just little things like that really change up your entire perspective on what it is that you do. Because really we're just in the people meeting business. You just go out there and meet people. If you can't learn how to meet people and be positive about what you're doing and attract those people, because positivity just does it's an amazing thing. You're going to have a hard time. You're going to continually struggle. And that sounds like one of those cliche things. You can have all kinds of quotes about what I just said, but that's really the key to it. It all really ends inside of you and what it is that you want to do mentally. Go out here, fix it right here between the 6 inches, and physically go out there and make it happen. And use these notes. Take some notes. Use your calendar. Hey. Call your success team members. And go out there and close the month very, very strong. Remember, build that list big, build it strong, build it long, and don't prejudge anybody on that list. Put them through the deal. And don't worry about making mistakes, because people don't know what you don't know anyway. Just do it, right? Forget about what if they do it, what if, forget about the what ifs, and just go out there and do the deal, okay? So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people get their goals accomplished, closing out the month. Hitting the 5 service members, and also getting into the FLC. That's exciting. If you guys want to add anything, close it up. I'm done.
Well, I was going to just support what you said. I wanted to say that when you said the three-way call, I sat there and wrote notes on your three-way call approach, Kenneth, and I use it. I mean, it's incredible. Okay, so I'm endorsing everything you said, and I learned a lot myself, and I use it, and you are 100% right, and it actually improved what I was doing. So I thank you for that. The BAM fan, book a meeting from a meeting.
Right.
I mean, that's just money. That's just you are so on point on that. And I started doing it. I made sure that I consciously thought, okay, what's my next step here? Don't leave it open-ended. Book a meeting from a meeting.
Right.
And the calendar, same thing. I mean, you're right. Now I'm gonna give something that Craig and I use because I'm a former insurance agent. He's a current insurance agent. There's a technique in insurance called X dating, and it's really how you get clients because there's a due date that someone's insurance comes due, and if you'll just work with that date, it's you're just quoting people, and they always want to get a quote. They want to see if they can save money. Well, the thing about our industry here is that due date is once a month. And if somebody's not in contract, they're going to have to pay that bill once a month. So just find out what their pay date is and just set a reminder in your calendar if somebody's interested in finding out more about it. Put it in your calendar to contact them 1 week out so that you have some lead time. And if they want to transition over, especially if they're on a no contract plan or anything like that, that they have time. They don't wait till the last minute to try to force it through a system. That you've got a week out, then you can set up your meeting, and then of course, if they decide to do business with you, you have a few days where that number can port over and everything like that. So that would just be augmenting what you said, but that's exactly it.
That was powerful. That was really good. Yeah, that's organization. You gotta have a calendar.
Hey, real quick for you guys to know this, that understand what you have. Because here's the deal, is I think some people don't share because they think, whatever reason, somewhere in your head all of a sudden you start to think, maybe because people tell you no, that you think you actually don't have something so flippin' powerful and so epic. So I want you to understand, keep in mind, if you lost that somewhere along the way, you better get it back, because I'm telling you, you have a walking, we can't say it enough, a walking, talking mobile cell phone store for a fraction of the cost that it would cost anybody to try to do something like this. So don't think for a moment that what you're bringing to somebody is not just a treasure chest. Like, you need to treat it that way. Because if you're not treating it that way, if you're like, well, it's just a little business that I think maybe you could make some money,
right.
You're not like, no, listen to me. This is literally something that I'm handing over to you, that this could literally just change not only you but so many other people's lives that you have around you. And side note, just so you guys know, if it was not for MLM, okay, if it wasn't for network marketing, I was talking to Matt Taylor about this, and he was like, dude, you need to share that, man. I was like, I don't think I ever really shared it a lot with people. So me and my wife were really going through a really rough time years ago. We ended up being able to move up to the mountains in California for a year, okay? A year, guys. I didn't work at all. And guess what? If it wasn't for residual income and stuff that I had created, I never would have been able to do that. And so here's a little bit of a testimony for you guys, okay, from myself, is that I don't think I would be together or with my wife if I didn't have the freedom to have gained something that gave me the freedom to take an entire year and not have to work and have business to build to be able to create residual income for myself that saved my marriage. So when people want to say that maybe that's not going to work, most people don't make money, I want to tell you something as a living, breathing person testimony going, if I didn't have some of those things, it would not allow me to have had the freedom that possibly wouldn't have me sitting here today with two beautiful kids. And so I'm sharing that with you guys because I'm hoping to encourage you guys. Why I can be incredibly passionate about this opportunity in this moment is because now I'm able to go from a person that worked too much my entire life and abandoned some of the things that were necessities for me to building residual income that could give me the ability to spend time with who matters in my life and to be able to save something incredible and have an incredible marriage for myself, incredible two kids, and now able to work from home and be able to really spend time with the people that matter to me. You know what I mean? And so I want to share that story with you guys. I don't think I've shared that ever before with people before. But the thing is that the truth of the matter is that when people say, I don't think that works, most people don't make money. I'm telling you it does. It does work. And there is home-based business. This is very and so I want you guys to treat this as something that could change someone's life. because in all actuality, if I didn't have it, I don't know where I'd be today. I don't know, crud, I could have lost just about everything. You know what I mean? Including marriage, family, house, everything, right? But if it wasn't for an opportunity of home-based business, network marketing, give me the ability to do it, I'm telling you guys, I couldn't have gone to any other job and said, hey, I need to take a year off. I really need to focus on my family. Could you pay me for the rest of the year? It just wasn't going to happen. And so know what you guys have is incredibly valuable, man. Like Kenneth said, man, finish this month strong, man. Don't make goals, guys. That's follow what Kenneth's been giving tons of teaching on, on three-way calling, BAMFAM. That stuff is huge.
Three-way calling, guys. Pique the interest. Once you have don't try to do it all yourself. I don't try to do it all myself. I don't. I'll go grab Craig. I'll grab Ed. I grab somebody else and have them help me. I don't need anybody to explain it, but I do that because it works. And the thing is that we're all on deck. All of us. All the leaders are on deck to finish this month strong. So you don't have to be on you don't have to be on my team or Craig's team or Ken's team. Guess what? I'm here to help. Craig's here to help. Marlon's here to help. Roger's here to help. Ed's here to help. All of us are here to help you reach what you want to reach. Our phone numbers are posted. You can use us the rest of the month. You make sure you have a prospect. If someone's interested, it is your job for a three-way call. Get us on there. Because here's the fact. I'll tell you, when I put them on the phone with Ed, 90%. 9 out of 10 join. Period. I don't need any other statistics behind that. Heck yeah, I'm going to call Ed. if he has 9 out of 10,
we're strong.
That's strong.
That's a lot of numbers right
there. and you already know the other thing. If people see you doing it, they're going to do it themselves. They're not going to try to become a Ken or a Craig or a Jason. They're going to go, oh, you mean I just have to tell them a little bit, show them a few SIM cards like that, get them interested, then put them on a three-way call? That's it. It's pretty much simple. Get them on a three-way call. There you go. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Absolutely. Let the system do what it does, man. It's incredible. What else can we say? It is what it is. You're going to have to go out there, buckle up, and go make it happen. But there's a system for you, and all these things that we're talking about are parts of the system. And if you don't plug into the system, more than likely you'll struggle, right? You know what system stands for. We've heard it before. Save yourself stress, time, energy, and money, right? It is what it is. It's very simple, and it's very simple to do, but it's very easy not to do as well. So you have to kind of just put that thing on the chopping block, say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And have certain expectations. Don't burn yourself out. Everybody can't do what everybody else is doing. You have to pick your spot, Pick where you want to be. Say, hey, at the end of the month, I'm going to have sponsored three new members, 4 new members, If you're close to to getting the 5, man, shoot for 10, If you're close to getting to the FLC with the 15, man, shoot for 20, Because you can't, start at a low number and expect to hit that number. You have to start at a high number and expect to hit a lower number, because the law of averages and numbers, they don't work out in your favor like 9 out of 10 all the time. Sometimes you'll close 20 to 30%, right? But that's all you need, because you've done the numbers to get that number. So just have the right expectations. Let's go out here, let's smash the comfort zone. Everything you ever wanted is outside of your comfort zone, right? Everything. So it's been a great hangout. I hope everybody's got what they need for the next 8 days here. I think we have 8 days left, right? About a week basically. But starting tomorrow morning, if you got to go out there and fill that pipeline, meet some people. Go back to this video, write down or listen back to what Jason said about how we, the little 20-second commercial there, that'll help you a lot. It'll eliminate a lot of anxiety. You just like, you know what? Practice it. Do the mirror technique. Talk to yourself. You got to do some things like that. If you really want what you want, you'll be willing to do whatever it is it's going to take to do it, to get it, right? So stuff sounds corny and cliche, and hey, you can look at anybody that's been successful in life, and they've done some boring things, and they've done some crazy, quirky things. And they probably are telling you to do those things, and you're probably like, I'm too cool to do it. That's probably why you're still where you're at. Honestly, that's mentally, mentally, that's where a lot of us are. We're just like, oh, that stuff is corny. Oh, and I'm guilty of it. I've been doing that for years. Like, oh, come on, come on, really? And you look up, and people still saying the same thing. Hey, that's what's working, the belief, you know, all that stuff that people have put in place outside of all the things you can really touch and feel, you know, in the business. Oh, the comp plan and, you know, the product and all that looks great. But if you don't have it here and here in the heart, I mean, that stuff, what's motivating, not motivating you, what's inspiring you, because motivation comes from some other source. The inspiration comes from within you. What are you doing to inspire yourself to go out there and do it? You're your biggest critic. You're your biggest fan. You got to get you right. So work on you harder than you're working on the business, and things will work out, right? So hopefully I'm not too harsh. I'm fanning me off. You're fanning me off. All right. So I'm talking, but look, I love this stuff because I'm talking to myself. Oh gosh, it's so good. This is me. I'm not coaching. This Super Coach Smith right there. I'm not. No, this is something that I've just learned, that I'm continually on my process here. I'm on my grind, getting better, knowing that I have to do certain things to get where I want to go. And I feel like the opportunity here, I can seize the moment and plant my flag down and start to spill this stuff out and really impact some lives. So that's all it's about. Okay, so good night. God bless everybody. If you guys got anything else, I think we've had an incredible hangout. And it's time to go. Time to get to work Monday morning, bright and early. 3-way calls. Exposure is everything. Everything you've ever wanted is outside of your comfort zone. Smash that fear, okay? Good night. God bless.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.